Good morning. Welcome to another edition of Delta Media Group's Tech Tuesday. Here at Delta Media Group, we can't wait until Taco Bell finally wins the franchise war. That way, well, let's just say there's nothing like a chicken quesadilla at 2 a.m. to really make you feel alive. So today we are going to go into the DeltaNET and take a look at the updates we've made to the email queue, system, the email queue page. To give you a little background, what this system does is when you send out a bulk email through the DeltaNET, it sends it into kind of a mail queue system, and then it goes out kind of in the order that those came in. They go out very quickly, so most of the time you don't notice even a delay, but there can be a little bit of a delay. What this is more important, or the more important factor here though, is that you can schedule emails to go out ahead of time. So if you were to schedule an email blast or an e-card to go out in, say, 2 weeks, you could still do something with those because they'll show up on this email queue page. So that way, if you decide, you set it to go out in 2 weeks, and in a week you decide that you don't want it to go out anymore, you can still go in and stop it. So let's go into the DeltaNET and see what it looks like. So first off, I've gone ahead and kicked off a few emails just to give you a quick idea of what I mean. I'm going to go down to customers, and we'll do e-cards and flyers, why not? So this is just one example of the way that you can send emails out to go out or set emails up to go out sometime in the future. So I'm going to go with an e-card because if I didn't go with an e-card, it wouldn't make much sense.
You're getting that weird lag issue.
And then we're going to go down here. I'm told that my screen is lagging a little bit, or maybe it's lagging a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's lagging a whole lot. There it goes. So, what we would do is I've already selected this to show me only e-cards. So the nice thing is we're trying to send an e-card. So I'm going to click on one. Let's see what it does. It's going to take a minute, but I'll pause on the last step. So when you go through the entire process of setting up an e-card, and we've got that in plenty of other videos here, I'm going to go over to send e-card. There we go. So you caught up with me. And I would select my recipients, but up here I can select an e-card send on date. So if I were to select a date, and what I've done in my example is I've set it to go out just about a couple of weeks down the road. When that goes out, or if I want to do anything with it before it goes out, then I can go into this mail queue page and I can make changes there. So that is one example. Now the next one, I'm going to jump over to the email blasts page. So I'm under customers and email blasts, and we'll give it a minute for the screen to catch up as I kind of get things set up there. But under customers email blasts, up at the top of that field, what you can do is set a specific send on date. So it works roughly the same way that e-cards do. When I click the send button, it's going to add it to the mail queue. There it is. So first, if you can see it, which I don't think you can, but I've set March 31st as a date. So once I set up my email and I click send, it's going to add it to the queue. It's not going to do anything, not going to send out until it actually reaches that date. Now, the mail queue itself can be accessed by going. So I'm going to give it a second there to let my screen catch up. What we're actually having is you can see that I'm down here in the corner, I'm up to date, but the background behind me where the DeltaNET is operating on a few second delay. There we go. So you can see where my mouse is. I'm under customers and then queued email. So if I click on that, that's going to take me to the mail queue page. And from this page, you can see every email that's queued to go out sometime in the future. So the cool thing is it gives you some information about all those emails that are queued to go out. You have a search field here at the top where you can type in information and it will narrow the list down. There we go. And it will narrow the list down to only those things that match whatever my search term is. So if I was looking for just e-cards, I could type in e-cards and it's not going to search by that. If I was looking for just emails to a specific customer, let's say I set it to go out and I have a specific customer that maybe they just closed, so I don't want to send them this e-blast I was about to send to them, or I don't want to send them this e-card I was about to send to them. Because they, maybe they put an offer in on a home, so they'd no longer be interested in the one I was about to send. I can type in their email address or their name and just narrow this list down to them so that I can easily delete just their email from the queue. So all the rest that I queued to go out will still go, but theirs won't. The other thing I can do is I can click on preview on any one of these to see what the email is actually going to look like. So, if I wanted to just double check the look of those before they go out, I have an opportunity to do that. And then lastly, what we have added to this most recently is up here at the top you have a delete all and a delete all visible emails. So if I hit delete all visible emails, what it should do is delete everything on my current page. So that would remove all those from the email queue, so basically allows me to start over. So if I had set up something and I've got, right now I'm only showing 10 entries per page, but let's say I set up an email to send out 200 emails. I can change this to show 100. It's going to show all, or 100 of the 200 emails that I have queued to go out, and then up here at the top I can delete all visible emails, and that'll delete all the emails on the page that I'm on. So lets me kind of delete them a chunk at a time. Or if I were to narrow this down using a search term, so let's say I did type in a customer's name and I've got a few different emails set to go to them, by hitting delete all visible, it should delete all of the emails set to go to that person. So basically all of the emails that I have filtered this list to. And then lastly, I have a button here that says delete all emails, which will delete all the emails from the queue altogether. Depending on how much you're using the system and how many emails you're sending out, that may or may not be something that you want to do. That would be most useful if, say, I put together an email blast and I told it to go out on March 17th, and then I realized after the fact that I have a typo in that email. I can go back in from this page and I can hit delete all emails. That'll get rid of everything I have queued, which at that point might only be that, or should only be the one email that I had set up to go out ahead of time. And then I can go back into the email blast system and recreate my email without the typo. Or actually I can pull it back up from my eCard history, or not eCard, email blast history, and make corrections to it and then hit send again on its, set the date ahead, hit send again, and then it'll add it back into the queue, but with my corrections to it. So it's a nice way to give you just a little bit more control over how you can get into the system and how you can really have fine-grained control over the emails that go out on your behalf. It's also kind of a backup plan. So every now and then you get everything all set up, you've been working on an email for a while and you just kind of miss that there was a typo, something like that, and then you happen to see it after the fact. This gives you a way that you can kind of correct issues like that. So there you go. That is the email queue page. We'll see how it catches up. I'm going to delete all the emails in my queue, so I hit delete and I'm going to hit delete all email, and it's just going to be empty when it reloads. You ready? You ready? Here it comes. Here it comes. Ha! There it is. So I deleted all the emails from my queue. So there you have it. It was a little bit of a weird Tech Tuesday today, but as always, thank you for joining me. We'll have to figure out why we have a delay issue for next time. But for now, I will, if you have any issues, concerns, questions about this or anything else, feel free to send an email in to support@deltagroup.com or give us a call, and we will be happy to help you out. Otherwise, I will see you again next time. Thanks a lot.